Habib-san was only 16 when he lost his father, Haji Gulzar. Losing a father is always difficult. Losing Haji Gulzar made it even more difficult. From a shepherd to one of Afghanistan's most influential people, Haji-san turned the only 200 Afghanis he possessed in 1940, which was approximately the equivalent of $10 at that time, into a whopping $100,000 by 1960. He first headed to Mazar Sharif, where lots of people from his family tribe, Hazarbus, were doing business, took a loan of $1,000 and established the first distribution company, Gulzar Trading, to reach $10,000 by 1950, and significantly expanded his business from there on, starting with trading tea from India to being one of the largest importers of textile from Japan, to establishing a textile factory in Jalalabad city in 1960, where his tribe, Hazarbus, originated from. The tea business led him to visit India, which had common borders with Afghanistan, until Pakistan was established in 1947. In India, he also found great potential in the textile business imported from Japan, which in turn led him to start trading with Japanese companies. Habib-san was 1 year old in 1960. It was no doubt that he was born with a silver spoon in his mouth in one of Kabul's most prestigious neighborhoods, surrounded by embassies and diplomats as well as the country's elite, whom his family created strong ties with. Habib-san joined the nearby public school, which offered excellent education, and enrolled in the American Center to further improve his English. Despite their exclusive lifestyle, Habib-san and his 4 brothers and 4 sisters were brought up with the best of moral values thanks to their parents. Humility, courage, loyalty, and true friendship. Haji-san's honesty, integrity, and generosity were legendary and were traits he had clearly instilled in his children from a very young age. Although a very busy businessman, Haji-san kept a very close eye on all his 9 children and made sure they kept good company and socialized with honorable people. When Haji-san passed away in 1975, Habib-san had to take over the responsibility of his father's business and step into his father's big shoes while he was still in high school. Though a brilliant student, his father's life lessons had taught him more than academics did. Luckily, he had a business mentor, Sakamoto-san, director of Kanematsu Gosho, a major textile supplier of Habib-san's father and close friend, so much so that they even had offices in the same building owned by Haji-san. Alongside the strong moral support he got from his dear mother, Habib-san was trained under Sakamoto-san, who saw a bright, intelligent, and ambitious individual who had so much to offer to the world and saw him as his own son. Deep relations with Japanese companies further built Habib-san's exceptional business flair and personality. The following year, in 1976, he restructured his inherited business and expanded the distribution network to the whole of Afghanistan and neighboring countries under the name Habib Gulzar Limited. Although Habib-san already represented many Japanese companies, including Kanematsu Gosho, Mitsubishi, and Japan Tobacco, his utmost desire was to obtain the Toyota distributorship in Afghanistan. Clearly, the Afghanis' first choice was Toyota, since 95% of the cars driven in Afghanistan were second-hand Toyota cars. Unfortunately, the country was too poor, and chances of new car sales were limited, though one might believe that Toyota had never been distributed in the country before. The first Toyota to ever enter Afghanistan was in 1965. When 3 highly educated gentlemen obtained distributorship rights along with Mercedes and Suzuki. They were highly professional, and their company, Mears, offered excellent customer service. Haji-san was one of their first customers to purchase a crown. However, with time, they didn't have enough cash to sustain the company and approached Haji-san, who had a sharp entrepreneurial vision and was a firm believer in helping promising startups. He himself never forgot the time when his relative loaned him $1,000 to start his own tea venture. Proud of his humble beginnings, the self-made man would keep telling his children the story and made sure it stayed within the family's collective memory for years to come. With little education and immense self-gained wisdom, he believed that educating and empowering people was far more important than satisfying their needs temporarily. His motto was deeply rooted in Lao Tzu's famous teaching, "Teach a man to fish, and you feed him for a lifetime." Haji-san, envisioning the future, decided to invest in the company in return for shares for his sons. Though Mir's services business was very prosperous, Lady Luck had other plans. With Russia invading Afghanistan in 1980, the gentleman opted to leave the country and the company was taken over by the government. Aware of the huge potential of a Toyota partnership and visualizing success, Habib-san, by then an aggressive 21-year-old businessman, took on the task of approaching TMC in 1980. He was declined the business twice, but kept trying relentlessly for years. We should bear in mind that during the Soviet-Afghan War, Japanese car makers were accused by the U.S. of unfair export over the sharp increase in Japanese automobile exports, with a strong dollar adding to the pain of U.S. producers. Hence, TMC had to tread lightly in order to avoid increasing friction with the U.S. It is only a quarter century later that he finally got the Toyota business. With 25 years of roadblocks and obstacles, let alone the troubled political situation and the deteriorating safety conditions in Afghanistan, it would have been easy for anyone to throw in the towel and give up, but not for Habib-san. Rather, it fueled his desire to succeed and pushed him to try harder. His perseverance and determination helped him see these barriers more like paving stones instead. His Japanese friends commented that if you're lucky, you can get it, but Habib-san firmly believed in making his own luck. After years of trying, he grabbed the opportunity to submit a proposal to TMC for the third time in 2004. Unlike all other prospectors competing for the distribution rights, Habib-san was the only one who did not have any automotive businesses. Even Mir's was in the running to be one of the distributors. When asked about the sales prospects during the presentation, he took on the huge risk of challenging the attendants.
So when the Moriyashi-san asked me, he said, "How many cars you sell in Afghanistan?" I said, "Moriyashi-san, I'm not interested to sell the car." He said, "What do you want?" I said, "Look, this presentation show we have 95% market share in Afghanistan. My first priority, if you appoint me, my first priority will be that we should not lose the market share. How we cannot lose the market share? We have to provide service. We have to provide genuine spare parts. When we do this one, so these people repeatedly, if they have money, they will come to buy the car from us. So that's I don't care. I care more about service, spare parts, and then the car will be next stage comes. So because I believe my belief is always is that one customer is king."
Against all odds, he was first appointed task partner in 2004. And signed the distributorship in 2006 when he teamed up with Mahmoud Karzai, brother of President Hamid Karzai, in Afghan Auto Limited. In July 2009, Habib-san, who had built a strong bond with TMC and gained their trust, bought 100% of Afghan Auto Limited. A few months later, Habib Gulzar Motors Limited was born, fully owning the well-deserved Toyota business in Afghanistan in a company that held his name and Toyota's high. Very high.